Marvel Rivals is very popular right now, and hey, why shouldn't it be? There's a lot to love in it. Between the Strategist, Vanguard, and Duelist classes, there are a lot of interesting, true-to-character ways to play as a bunch of beloved Marvel Comics characters. But even with the roster as big as it is, there are plenty of characters who didn't get included. But we know for a fact that there will be more characters on the way as the seasons go on in this game, so that's got everyone wondering. When will their favorite character who wasn't included be added to the game? What will they play like? Well, I don't know about you, but there's one mutant in particular that I want to see added to this game. One who's seen a resurgence of popularity and interest in recent years. And his name is...
The name is Gambit! Remember it!
Yes, Remy LeBeau, aka Gambit, the Ragin' Cajun. I would love to see him in this game, because he's just honestly one of my favorite X-Men characters. But what would that look like? Well, since you clicked on this video, you probably want to know what I think it would look like. And that's exactly what you'll get. So here's what I think Gambit should play like in Marvel Rivals. First things first, we have to determine what kind of character he is. Basically, what class he's going to be. Marvel Rivals has 3 classes: Strategist, Duelist, and Vanguard. Vanguard are your big tanky characters, Strategists are your healers, and Duelers are your general damage types. While it would be really easy to make Gambit a Duelist character, and that is probably what they'd go with if they added him to the game, I think we can get a little bit more creative than that, and it's for that reason that I think Gambit should actually be a Strategist character. I think that would actually work out really well for him, let me tell you why.
Not a single word. What do you do exactly?
Charge the playing cards. Make them go boom.
Your power is close-up magic. That's good. We're not totally fucked at all.
Gambit's basic attack is obviously throwing playing cards. Let's say he throws 5 playing cards before having to quote-unquote reload. Whenever a card hits an enemy, it does damage to them, but also places a card on them. Whenever he throws a card at an ally, it plants a card on them and gives them a speed boost, charging them with the kinetic energy that Gambit infused the card with. From there, Gambit can then detonate the card on either his enemy or his ally, depending on who he's just looking at the time, I guess. If the card detonates on an enemy, then yeah, it just blows up and does damage to them, but if it explodes on an ally, it gives them a health boost. For his secondary ability, Gambit whips out his rod and For secondary ability, Gambit takes out his staff, his main melee weapon, and plants it in the ground, charging it with kinetic energy. This creates an area of effect that gives any allies in it a health and a speed boost. I imagine it would be kind of cool to see the staff literally just charged with energy, just burning down as the time limit for it runs out. The final move would just be a kind of retreat or something for Gambit. Maybe he jumps backwards and throws a volley of explosive playing cards where he once stood. For his ultimate, I'd like to give Gambit a move called 52 Pickup, in which he launches all of his cards into the air for them to rain down on the battlefield below. They hit an ally, they give them a health and a speed boost. They hit an enemy, they blow up. You know, it's the explosive playing card. But if they don't hit an ally or an enemy, then they simply plant themselves in the ground, becoming mines that have the same effect on allies and enemies when they walk over them, putting plenty of health pickups everywhere for your friends, and turning the battlefield into an absolute minefield for your enemies.
Have the two of you ever had a team up?
Oh, well, Alphonse's real name is Henry Winkler, and yeah, I do know him. He's a very nice guy. Would you consider grabbing dinner like one time and team up?
No. Eating together is not a team up.
Now, one of the most interesting parts of Marvel Rivals is its team-up mechanics. Basically, if you play as 2 or 3 certain characters in a certain match together, they get different boosts and things like that. It's not only a good way to harken back to classic superhero team-ups, but also shakes up your team in interesting ways. So, what sort of team-ups should Gambit have? Well, I think it would be cool if he had a team-up ability with Storm. You see, if you're not too familiar with the history of Gambit, he first appeared helping out Storm when she was temporarily turned into a child. It's a whole thing. X-Men are weird, man. But a lot of Storm's abilities are focused around giving her allies speed boosts, just like my hypothetical Gambit's would be. So if you have Storm and Gambit on a team together, then Storm gets the ability to create a kinetic hurricane. Basically, anyone within this area of effect will not only get her typical speed boost, but also a health boost. And for Gambit, he maybe just gets a general damage output boost or something like that. For a second team-up idea, maybe he teams up with Captain America and Black Panther, supercharging their vibranium and giving them some more damage and speed. Maybe Captain America's shield can bounce between a few more enemies or something like that. I don't know. It would be fun. It would be cool. So yeah, those are some of my basic ideas for how I think Gambit should play in Marvel Rivals if or when they put him in the game. But what about you? How do you think Gambit should play? Who do you want in the game? Go ahead and comment what you think below and give this video a like. Go ahead and subscribe there while you're at it. Make sure to ring the bell so you get notified whenever a new video gets uploaded. I know I need to get used to uploading videos more often, and I will, and hopefully making a few shorter videos like this between the bigger ones will help out with that. I'm Keaton Savage, and I'll see you guys next time.